We are counting down 10 perennial flowers that actually bloom harder when you stop watering them. From self-seeding daisies to plants with cellular adaptations that rival desert succulents, each entry on this list survived a full summer with zero supplemental irrigation and kept producing color non-stop. The #1 spot is backed by laboratory research most gardeners have never seen. Let's start the countdown at number 10. In the 10th place, Coreopsis grandiflora, better known as Tickseed, brings a burst of gold to the garden with almost no fuss. This sun-loving perennial establishes quickly, needing just 2 weeks of deep watering before it can go the rest of the summer without extra irrigation. Adapted to USDA zones 3 to 9, Tickseed thrives in loamy sand soils and full sun, carpeting beds with daisy-like blooms from early summer to frost. Deadheading helps manage its self-seeding habit, while the popular moonbeam cultivar delivers reliable color and attracts native bees. For beginners, Coreopsis offers a forgiving start. Once rooted, it keeps blooming even when the hose stays in the shed. Number 9. Salvia yangii, known as Russian sage, brings chemistry and clever leaf design to the drought game. Once established with 3 to 6 weeks of deep watering, this perennial can handle the rest of summer without extra irrigation, provided the soil drains well. Its silvery, finely haired leaves reflect sunlight and slow water loss, while flexible stomata help the plant keep blooming through heat. This semi-anisohydric control means Russian sage can adjust its water use as conditions change, supporting continuous lavender spikes from midsummer into fall. Blue Spire is a standout cultivar for zones 5 through 9, but avoid soggy soil to prevent root rot. Prune in early spring for best shape and flower production. In 8th place, Nepeta faassenii, better known as Catmint, brings a cloud of violet-blue spikes and a whisper of minty fragrance to the driest corners of the garden. Its secret lies in aromatic leaf oils and a likely boost in mesophil conductance, traits common across the mint family that help the plant keep blooming even when the soil goes dry. Deer steer clear of the scent, while pollinators flock to the flowers from late spring through fall. A single deep soak at planting is all it needs. After that, Catmint thrives on neglect in zones 3 through 9. Shearing back spent blooms triggers a second flush, especially in the tall Six Hills giant cultivar. Whether in full sun or part shade, Nepeta fills borders with color and scent. No hose required. Number 7. Gaillardia aristata, better known as blanket flower, brings a front-loaded burst of color to the driest corners of the garden. This perennial sets buds early and in abundance, packing the first wave of summer with fiery red-orange blooms that keep coming even as the soil dries out. Research from extension phenology trials confirms that blanket flower actually produces more flower heads under deficit irrigation, thanks to a strategy that prioritizes reproductive effort before the peak of summer heat. In USDA zones 3 through 9, Gaillardia thrives in sandy loam and full sun, needing just 4 weeks of deep watering to establish before it can bloom non-stop with little help. The popular Lady Pat cultivar is especially heavy blooming. Deadheading spent flowers extends the show and limits self-seeding. For gardeners seeking long visual payoff with minimal effort, blanket flower proves that timing is everything. Set it, forget the hose, and enjoy the color. Number 6. Agastache foeniculum, better known as Anise hyssop, brings a fragrant, pollinator-rich presence to dry gardens by tapping into water reserves far below the surface. Its deep taproot often reaches 60 centimeters or more, and it allows the plant to access subsoil moisture that most shallow-rooted perennials cannot reach. This root architecture means that after just 6 to 8 weeks of careful establishment, Anise hyssop can thrive in zones 4 through 9 without further irrigation, even in sandy loam soils under full sun. The plant's aromatic leaves release a sweet licorice scent that attracts bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds throughout midsummer and into fall. Cultivars like Blue Fortune are prized for their dense lavender flower spikes and reliable bloom, even as drought sets in. Nectar production remains stable under dry conditions, providing a steady food source for visiting pollinators. For gardeners seeking a low-maintenance, ecologically rich perennial that works with nature's rhythms, Anise hyssop stands out as a root-driven solution to water-wise color. Number 5. Sedum spectabile autumn joy stands out for its remarkable ability to store water right in its leaves. Each thick, fleshy leaf acts as a reservoir, letting the plant ride out dry spells with barely a drink, often thriving on just a monthly soak after its first 6 weeks in the ground. This succulent strategy means autumn joy shrugs off heat and drought in USDA zones 3 through 9, provided its roots sit in sharply draining, gritty soil. Full sun draws out the richest pink blooms, which cluster atop sturdy stems from late summer into fall, adding color when many others are fading. Spring is the time to prune back old stems, encouraging new growth and compact clumps. While some stone crops rely on specialized photosynthesis, current studies point to water storage, not CAM, as the main reason autumn joy keeps blooming through neglect. Number 4. Hemerocallis, better known as Daylily, brings a lesson in garden design and drought resilience. Each clump forms a dense mass of fleshy roots that act as underground storage tanks, holding both carbohydrates and water. This internal reserve lets daylilies send up fresh flowerscapes for months, even when the soil dries out. Once established with 4 weeks of deep watering, large groupings will bloom from early summer into fall without extra irrigation, thriving in zones 3 through 9. Landscape trials show that the bigger the root clump, the longer the bloom period under deficit watering, making mass planting a practical strategy for nonstop color. The Golden Stella d'Oro variety is especially reliable for repeat flowering. Daylilies tolerate a wide range of soils and full sun, though gardeners should watch for leaf beetles and divide crowded clumps every few years to keep performance high. For those seeking a vibrant garden with minimal effort, the Daylily's storage-powered approach turns neglect into a season-long show. Asclepias asperula, known as antelope horn milkweed, brings together drought endurance and ecological impact in a way few garden perennials can match. Native to the rocky grasslands of the American West, this milkweed relies on a deep, fibrous root system that anchors plants through dry summers in USDA zones 5 through 9. After a single deep watering at planting, mature antelope horn milkweed survives months of low rainfall. It holds steady water potentials while supporting a flush of intricate, greenish-white blooms from midsummer into early fall. These flowers are a lifeline for monarch butterflies, serving as both a nectar source and a larval host when other food plants have faded in the heat. Field trials confirm that even in soils with less than 12% moisture, established milkweed continues to set buds and retain blooms, making it a cornerstone for pollinator gardens that depend on natural rainfall. Seed germination requires cold stratification, but once rooted, antelope horn milkweed thrives on neglect, helping gardeners create resilient, wildlife-friendly landscapes without a hose in sight. In second place, Achillea millefolium, better known as Yarrow, delivers a nearly unbeatable blend of drought resilience, season-long color, and soil improvement. Once established with 6 weeks of deep watering, Yarrow's dense, fibrous roots anchor it through the hottest months, thriving in sandy loam and full sun across USDA zones 3 to 9. What sets Yarrow apart is its allelopathic chemistry. The plant releases compounds that suppress weed growth, reducing competition for water and nutrients in dry beds. Prairie restoration studies confirm that Yarrow's root density not only stabilizes soils but also outcompetes many invasive species without extra irrigation. Flat-topped umbels appear from early summer into fall, and deadheading spent blooms encourages a fresh flush of flowers. The popular moonshine cultivar brings silvery foliage and a heavy bloom set, brightening borders with minimal care. While Yarrow's spreading habit is prized for ground cover, gardeners in wetter regions should monitor for invasiveness. For those seeking a nearly foolproof perennial that blooms nonstop and improves soil health, Yarrow stands just shy of physiological perfection. And finally, in first place, Echinacea purpurea, better known as purple coneflower, stands as the benchmark for drought-fueled, non-stop blooming in home gardens. The secret to its resilience lies at the cellular level. When soil moisture drops, coneflower leaves rapidly accumulate proline, an amino acid that helps cells retain water and maintain turgor pressure even as the ground dries out. At the same time, the plant mobilizes starch reserves from its roots, funneling energy into new flower buds rather than vegetative growth. Metabolomic studies show proline levels can spike within 48 hours of water withdrawal, matching the onset of fresh blooms. Field trials have shown that when Echinacea is paired with arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, bloom counts jump by 25% under drought conditions. The fungi extend the root's reach, supplying extra water and phosphorus right when the plant needs it most. For gardeners in zones 3 through 9, a 4-week establishment period is all it takes before coneflower can thrive on rainfall alone. The Magnus cultivar is especially prized for its large, long-lasting blooms from midsummer into fall. Full sun and well-drained loam set the stage, while leaving seedheads standing through winter feeds goldfinches and adds architectural interest. As one Arizona homeowner put it, even in a record heat wave, my coneflowers kept blooming without a hose. With perfect scores for drought tolerance, bloom duration, pollinator value, and widespread availability, Echinacea. Purpurea offers the strongest proof yet that less watering can mean more flowers and a garden that truly works with nature. Across all 10 entries, one truth stands out. Resilience is built into nature. These flowers thrive not in spite of neglect, but because they are adapted for it. A vibrant garden does not demand our constant effort. Sometimes letting go delivers the most rewarding blooms. Nature rewards gardeners who work with, not against, its rhythms.